Nick Jonas hosted a Reddit Ask Me Anything and ended up talking about his relationship with Miley Cyrus, his famous purity ring, and he's also set to perform on Saturday Night Live. Ramping up press for his upcoming album and tour with Demi Lovato, we are learning things that we never knew about the former Joe Bro. First up, let's talk about his relationship with none other than Miley Cyrus. If you remember, the two dated as teens and have obviously since broke up. However, we did get a few good songs out of it, and it also sparked an alleged feud between Selena and Miley back in the day. But that begs the question, are Nick and Miley still friends today? His response to the question is as follows, as he said, quote, "It's been a while since I spoke to Miley, but I think that the persona is awesome, and I think that she is living proof that you can continue to evolve as an artist and a creator," saying, "I'm a huge Woody Allen fan, so I'm looking forward to seeing the show that she's doing with him." Sounds like they aren't really in contact, but there seems to be no bad blood. Now, when asked about the differences between being in a brother band and going solo, Nick said, quote, "I think the biggest difference has been in the ability to create my own destiny and really step forth, and probably my personal music inclinations and intuitions." He then continued to talk about how excited he is to grow as an artist, but that doesn't mean he regrets or didn't love the time he spent with his brothers as a part of the Joe Bros, saying that he constantly goes back to reminisce about the music they released together and the time they spent on tour, saying it was some of the best years of his life. On the brothers' purity rings, you remember those, when asked about the South Park episode that mocked them for rocking the rings back in the day, Nick said, quote, "When it first came out, I didn't think it was funny, to be honest, but probably because I was actually living all of that in real time. So it just made it harder to come and live your life as a young person." But then he continued by saying, "Years later, and once the purity rings were no longer around, it was very funny to me, and I've actually watched the episode a few times. So I'm glad to see he's come around and can now laugh at something that used to upset him." In other news, the Clevver singer is set to perform on Saturday Night Live as the musical guest on April 16th. Jonas couldn't be any more happy, tweeting, "So excited about this." He'll join host and comedy legend Julia Louis-Dreyfus for his first solo stint on the show. But most importantly, I want to know what all of you guys are thinking about Nick's Reddit Ask Me Anything session. Did you learn anything you didn't already know about the singer? Let me hear it in the comment section below, and then you can click right here to watch Kylie Jenner announce her new lip glosses. You cannot miss that. Let's be besties on Instagram. I'm at Ryland Adams, and that also happens to be my name. Thanks for watching. Happy Friday. Click to the left to see Miley slay on her voice coach gig, or click over to the right to see Bieber cancel his date with Selena Gomez.